Continuing to track the latest with Hurricane Melissa, we just got the 11 p.m. package from the National Hurricane Center. And unfortunately, this latest update is pretty much the worst case scenario that could potentially be unfolding for Jamaica. Landfall as a powerful Category 5 hurricane by Tuesday morning, and the track is taking a bit more of a western component, so that would maximize the storm surge threat on the eastern part of the hurricane. Remember, that's where the storm surge is going to be maximized because of the forward momentum, so just not a good situation for Jamaica, thinking of the folks down there. And then this is going to continuously track towards the eastern portion of the island of Cuba before exiting into the open Atlantic later this week. However, Bermuda is going to have to keep a close eye on Melissa as it tracks into the open Atlantic. They may potentially see some impacts from Melissa as it exits out into the open seas. So locally, nice and quiet. We could be thankful for that, right? But it's getting a bit chilly out there. We've got temperatures in the lower 40s. Chucky and Lewis is reporting a temperature of 41, so could be cool enough to promote some patchy frost formation. There is a frost advisory for all of Delaware except for coastal Sussex County and for counties north of Dorchester County, as some spots may reach the 35-degree mark, but it shouldn't be completely widespread across the board, mainly because we've got these clouds that are going to be filling on in, and that can limit how cool we actually get for tonight. And it may start off the day on Monday on a fairly cloudy note. And then we'll potentially get some rain showers with this area of low pressure on Tuesday, but we got a strong high pressure to our north, so that's going to keep the storm system suppressed. So we won't see a lot of rain, but we will see at least some impacts, and I'll show you on Futurecast. So here are the clouds for tomorrow at 6 a.m., but we should mix in some sunshine. But because of onshore winds, we'll probably get at least some cloudiness streaming on in from the Atlantic Ocean. However, I do think we will still see some breaks of sunshine. Point being, Monday doesn't look like that bad of a day, but I think Tuesday is going to be a bit more on that cloudy side. And you'll see that rain shield by 6 a.m. on Tuesday. It tries to nudge north, but because of that strong high pressure, it's going to have a hard time doing so. So let's say if you're in Kent County, even some of Sussex County and into the upper shore, you may squeeze out Tuesday on almost a completely dry day, but in areas like Somerset, Worcester, and Accomack County, could be a pretty wet day for you throughout the day on Tuesday. So we'll keep an eye on the trends, but I'm just not expecting a lot of rain with this storm system on Tuesday. You can see that cutoff with the precipitation, the future rainfall potential. It's a sharp cutoff, and the further north you go, the better potential we have with some perhaps drier weather. Maybe up in Accomack County, you may see a better potential for maybe up to an inch of rainfall. So it really just depends on where you're on Tuesday. I will say that for everyone, it's going to be a pretty breezy day. Potential gusts over 30 miles per hour out of the east and maybe a little bit higher along the immediate coastline. So there is a gale watch from 4 a.m. Tuesday until 4 a.m. Wednesday due to the potential of some of those choppy marine conditions and those gusty breezes. So just something to keep in mind. That's storm system number 1. That's going to move on out of here. Another storm system is potentially going to be bringing in a better potential for some soaking rain before moving on out here for Halloween. So Halloween at this point looks dry, which is certainly some good news. And then the following weekend is looking good as well. 37 to 42 for tonight, and then for tomorrow, 58 to 63 degrees with a good-looking marine forecast, but marine conditions will become increasingly choppy on Tuesday. Best chance for rain comes Thursday, and then we dry out for Halloween just in time for the trick-or-treaters.